Hi, welcome to Meeshla's YouTube channel. My name's Brittany and today we're going to begin lesson 2 of Stitch It Together, which is a beginner's tutorial on how to crochet. So let's get started. Today we're going to be learning how to do a slip knot and how to place your hands when you are working with the yarn for a project, and then how to chain, which is the foundational stitch for creating any project you do. So here we just have some yarns and our crochet hook. That's what you're going to need today. So I have this smaller one out just to show you guys, or regular sized one out, that when you're looking to begin a new project, there's two ways to use the yarn. You can either pull it from the center of the skein, or you can unravel it from the outside going in. This is inside going out, this is outside going in. I prefer to do outside going in because if you pull this, it begins to, after time, shrink on the inside and it gets all tangled. So that's just my preference. Now, here we have our ball of yarn, our first skein. I'm just going to find the end here. And the way that we start any project is with a slip knot. To do the slip knot, you hold the piece of yarn between your thumb and your middle finger. Just kind of pull it a little bit, and then you hold it with your thumb and your pointer finger, and you create a loop, like so. So you're holding yarn between your thumb and your pointer finger and your middle finger. Now on your right hand, you stick your pointer finger through the loop, like so, and then you twirl 3 times. So let's do that again. We don't have our yarn in our hands. We take it, pointer finger, thumb, pointer finger, middle finger, slip in, twirl, 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 and then we stick our thumb into that loop. So just going to do it again. Thumb into the loop and kind of spread a little bit. So what we've learned so far, we have thumb, middle finger through the loop, twirl, thumb into the loop. Now, as you can see here, we're set up to be able to grab the yarn that is connected to the rest of the skein. And then we pull. So, from the beginning, we do 1, 2, 3, finger in, loop, grab, and pull. Let's practice that a couple more times. 1, 2, 3, grab, pull. And there you have your first slip knot. What you do with that slip knot is you stick your crochet hook into the knot and you pull from the yarn that's connected to the skein. So if you want to just practice that pulling, if you pull the end that is loose, it'll open the loop, and then if you pull the yarn that's connected to the skein, it'll close the loop. So try that. Open, close, open, close, open, close. Now, we want the tightness of the loop to be, you know, it's taut, but it's not unmovable. If it's really tight, it's not wiggling very well. We want it to have a little bit of a wiggle. So just gently pull it to when you feel the knot getting a little bit tighter onto the crochet hook, and you can just kind of wiggle it around very easily. That's going to be very important because when you make your chain, which we're going to learn in just a minute here, you're going to want to be able to dive your loop eventually, or dive your crochet hook into the chain. And if they're too tight, it's very difficult to do that. You're going to be fighting your own project. So it takes a little bit getting used to. Don't worry about it if you just need to practice for a while. At the end of these lessons, I'll show you my first crochet project, which I still have. I was 8 years old, and it's a mess. It's one of my favorite projects I've ever done because of the sentimentality of it. But you'll see that when you practice and you learn how to get comfortable with the yarn and the tension and all the different just hand placements, your projects will look very different than when you first began. Anyways, that was a random little sentiment, but back to learning how to crochet. Okay, so we have our slip knot onto our crochet hook, and from here we're going to do something which is called yarning over. So we hold that loop with our index finger on our right hand, like so, and then we yarn over. So we take the yarn leading to the ball and we turn it over the crochet hook. So you go from back to front, back to front, and then you hold the piece of yarn in between your left index finger and middle finger. From here, grab the loose end with your thumb and pull through. And that's your first chain. Now we're just going to keep doing this. Yarn over, grab, pull through. Yarn over, grab, pull through. Yarn over, grab, pull through. And as the chain grows, your thumb will continue to move with the project. So see how it's getting a little bit loose? Just move your thumb up, yarn over, grab, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Just move it up. And see how your index finger is leading the yarn and it's keeping the tension or the tightness of the yarn. So just keep practicing that chain. The project that we're doing is going to be 16 stitches long, which this is already much longer than 16 stitches. But it's really important to be able to know how to chain because this is the foundational stitch. However many chains you make is going to be however long your project is. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And see, if you look at this, I'm going to move this to see this a little bit more. It looks like a bunch of chains. And here we have some V's, and then the back looks more like a chain. We're going to be mostly working with the V's here. So the line that kind of goes down the back is the back. That's how you know the back from the front. The front has that V. So, all right. So let's say oh man, I made my chain too long. What do I do? It's very simple. You just pull your crochet hook out, and then slowly, until you get comfortable with it, you just pull the yarn that is connected to your skein. And you pull it down to however many chains you need it to be. It's like, oh no, I just pulled out too many. Well, just put your hook back in and begin chaining again. So just practice that for a little bit, making chains and then undoing them, and get really comfortable with that. And then when you're ready, I would challenge you to completely undo your project and start over. And we're going to do 16 chains. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Got our slip knot. Pull it taut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So this is where we will start off with our next lesson. All right, so far you have learned what you need when you're crocheting, how to do a slip knot, and how to make that chain while also keeping your hands in the right placement. So we'll see you next time when we will learn how to do the single crochet.